Good evening, and welcome once again to Republican Update, brought to you by the Rockland County Republican Committee. My name is Vincent D Reda. I'm the chairman of the Rockland County Republican Committee, and as usual, we're bringing you a showcase of our candidates. And tonight, I'm very pleased and privileged to introduce you to our Senate candidate for the 38th Senate District. Her name is Janis Castaldi. Now, the new 38th senatorial district consists of the town of Ossining in Westchester County and the towns of Clarkstown, Orangetown, and Ramapo in Rockland County. So I'm very glad to welcome you to our show tonight, Janis.
Thank you very much.
And,
pleased to be here.
Right at the top of the show, I'd like to start off to tell us a little something about Janis Castaldi, the businesswoman. Janis Castaldi, the entrepreneur, if you will.
Well, Janis Castaldi, the entrepreneur, is someone who builds businesses. I have a business on Main Street in Ossining, a fitness club where they said it would never ever work, but due to marketing and budgeting and doing the proper things to get it going, it is a thriving business. People are proud to have it in Ossining. But other than that, I've worked on, I primarily placed doctors nationwide throughout the United States, and I've built that business and consult with other businesses to get them on the right track, to get them to be profitable. I'm called in for all kinds of remedies, to budget problems, to hiring, to getting a specific part of their business up and running, and I'm proud to say that I've been very successful doing it.
Sort of a headhunter type vision?
Sort of.
Professionals?
Yes, with doctors that are graduating from their residency programs. But then I could go into all different types of firms, which I have. For example, I worked in New Jersey for a short period of time, and they were working with a company that I think is well known over here, Pfizer, and they were placing consultants. However, they couldn't gain a relationship with them, and they didn't have the budget in order to fulfill their needs. And I came in there and I increased their business with Pfizer over 55%, I think, in about 6 months.
Cool. Well, that's one of the companies we're concerned about here in Rockland.
I know.
Hoping that they're going to stay here in Rockland and expand if possible. Well, Janis, you've had the experience. You was an elected official in the village of Ossining. You were a trustee there. What made you decide to run for the New York State Senate?
Well, from the time I was really young, I was very involved with my father and Senator John Calandra in politics. From the time I was 12, I was going up to Albany, and I was always infatuated with it and proud to be there. But, you know, I took a look at the status of what's going on in our nation and statewide and locally, and it just seems like the government is broken. It's broken. There are not enough jobs for people. People are losing their homes. People are in so much debt, and I gained some very quality lessons from being on the village board and as deputy mayor in Ossining that I thought would be great for my run for the Senate, and great for Rockland, and great for Ossining itself as well. We built as a board a tremendous Moody's rating. We built as a board the ability to have a great fund balance. We consolidated when the people wanted us to consolidate, and what it amounted to is no loss in jobs, and it seems that that kind of a remedy could be very useful right now in the position that I'm seeking.
Yeah. Well, you bring back a lot of pleasant memories for me. I cut my political teeth with Senator Calandra in the Bronx many, many years ago. Well, it seems that you have the background. I mean, Albany is a pretty tough town. It's a tough town to work in. I worked in that area, and I still do for several years with the New York State Senate. What makes you think that you're going to be able to do any good there? I mean, are you up for the fight? I mean, this is a tough thing.
Well, you know, the best way I can answer that is nothing about politics, but more about personal. I might not look tough, but I had an unfortunate experience about 10 years ago. I was hit by a car as a pedestrian who hit me at 40 miles an hour. And they told me the possibility was I would never walk again. So I was in a wheelchair for quite some time. I was in casts. I went from working for a company as vice president of a healthcare company, making very good money, six-figure types of dollars that I was making. I built my career, and all of a sudden I saw it crumble to nothing. I then had to obviously give up that position, traveled a lot, and then was brought down to a place where I was living on SSI, and I lost practically everything. What makes me tough is that I learned how to rebuild myself. I learned to deal with the cards I was dealt. And frankly, I think that experience in Albany is going to help me a great deal. I know there's a lot of people out there right now suffering in the same position that I was in, and not because of an accident maybe, but because they're losing their homes, they're losing their jobs. And I feel that fortunate enough to have been able to come back, and I think that I have that expertise and that knowledge to help them come back as well.
And as you said, you had a good career going for you.
Great career.
And you had lost that career due to your injuries, but of course you're fine now. And
I'm fine. I'm running. I'm running for Senate.
Yeah, right. That's good. And so
and it actually was a miracle. Yep. Yeah. And it also makes you understand better how it feels to go through that kind of situation. And it is not easy. And it's not easy to wake up every day and have the confidence to say to yourself, listen, I'm going to make this work. And I made it work from my home. And I built a business from nothing. So, I'm proud to say that, but I'm also, I feel for the people out there and can give them some kind of direction in how to do the same thing I have.
Well, as I said, we know Albany's a tough place to get started. Is there anyone that really can change, or what change do you think that you might bring to Albany?
Well, I'm going to try. What I see is that a lot of politicians and people running for office really have all the good intention in the world of going up to Albany and changing Albany. However, I think once they get up there, they get smothered with so many different things, and their lack of experience in both the business world, some people, not all people, and their lack of personal experience eats them up to where they now make decisions that aren't for the people and aren't for their constituents. I think my experience and my personal, professional, and political experience will make me hold steady, as it did in Ossining. There were many times I had to listen to the people of Ossining and go against what my board wanted to do, but I fought for the people. It disturbed me, and it's another reason why I'm running for the Senate, that most every Democrat did not want this redistricting.
A lot of Republicans. We didn't want
Republicans,
to go across
Democrats felt that it was unfair. Anybody could look and see quotes from mayors, from Democratic committees, from Republican committees, from the people of these two districts that didn't want this done. Yet Senator Carlucci just felt that he was not going to listen to his constituents anymore. And that, for me, was one of the big points of why I wanted to get involved and run for this seat. Because if in 2 years he couldn't listen to his people, then I just shudder to think what's going to happen in 4 years.
Yeah. Well, as you know, that the Rockland Republican Committee as well was fighting not to make that change. We didn't think that we should go across the river. Rockland could have been contained. It could have been one senatorial district. Prior to Senator Carlucci winning 2 years ago, when Senator Morahan was here, he was our senator for 10 years. It had always been a Republican district for the last 25 years. We fought hard to keep it that way. And the district ran all of Rockland County and the the southern section of Orange County. And even though we were outnumbered 3-1, but we were able to maintain a Republican presence and keep a conservative Republican there, which I'm very happy to see that you are fiscally conservative.
Well, I think that was a piece of gerrymandering that what it does is give him the opportunity to have more Democratic votes.
Well, it did.
And
it
that's a selfish thing.
Yeah. It certainly added more Democrats to the district by going to Ossining. That's why he fought hard to get it. But let me go on here. What inspires you or motivates you as an individual to take on this challenge?
Well, people motivate me, really, frankly. You know, when I first became involved in office, I got to witness some incredible things with people in my area, as I'm sure I will do in Rockland County. But for example, obviously because of my accident, I became a champion for a lot of disabled people that are in the areas, not only in Ossining, but everywhere. I had a situation where a gentleman got saved by saving somebody's life. Construction worker, a car sped through a barrier and he no longer has legs, Michael Hudson. I think it was inspiring for me to see how this gentleman too got himself up on his feet, so to speak. He now still doesn't have his legs, but he now is a ice hockey champion within the Westchester County region. What inspires me, I worked for the Atria on the Hudson in the very beginning, and I was their Engaged Life Director, which they're a senior citizens facility. And talking to all of those people, especially the elderly who can go back into time and really give you an education, and I appreciate that. They inspire me because now they have their own set of problems, and to get an education from the elderly you know, just made me feel youthful again in a way, to have that appreciation of how they fought for their jobs, how they made it in America. I just feel that I am a people person, and the way I you know, go about being inspired are the stories that people tell me and the emails that I get, and people saying, you know what, you relate to us, you know what we're feeling, and it's just so refreshing to see that. And that's inspirational. And on a personal note, my father is a big inspiration to me. He was up in Albany with Senator Calandra. He taught me my principles. He taught me my loyalty. He's inspired me since I was 12 years old and knew what he was doing finally. And he was a tremendous lawyer who did everything by the book and always helped people no matter how big he got. And those are my values now.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up, but you recently returned to the Republican Party. You are fiscally conservative.
Yes.
Perhaps you came very highly recommended by Democrats and Republicans when they sent you over to visit for me to interview you. And I see that you got a lot of crossover votes when you were running as a Democrat in Ossining. Maybe you'd like to expound on some of your accomplishments that you achieved there in the village.
Well, one of the things that I'm most proud of is that I went through the budget line by line by line. And as some people may think, taking hold of certain expenses that might not look like they're huge, big things, when it adds up to taxpayer percent, that's me doing my job as a fiscal conservative. When I know that I have to deal with things such as the infrastructure and firemen and police officer types of equipment, to try to find out how I could fit that into a budget without adding taxpayer dollars to it. We kept the budget at a minimum, and it wasn't sky high the way it was before, thanks to the total board actually, and me being part of it, because we really did take hard looks at things. And then we listened. I went around door by door on Main Street into the various managers' offices in the village, and talked about how we could consolidate government, how we could get it to be smaller than big government. And my concern was I didn't want to push any consolidation that wasn't good for the people. So there were many meetings, but I look for things to cut, and I try to do that without taking away anybody's jobs. That's the trick. And since, you know, I've been in business as well, I've been able to look at budgets and add people and just stop the foolish waste that we see constantly in our government. So another thing I'm very, very proud of is I worked well with the Chambers of Commerce, who were never really brought into the picture, and we're trying, you know, we got our Main Street starting to move now with different restaurants, different businesses. And, you know, it was done without, again, losing a job or without raising taxes to 7, 8, 9%.
Yeah. Well, you certainly have the background for this. David Colucci is a pretty popular figure here in Rockland County. His party is kind of disappointed in him because he didn't bring back the bacon, so to speak, to Rockland, and I believe he might be even facing a primary. You, on the other hand, have been endorsed by the local conservative parties,
Yes.
both here in Rockland and in Westchester, and due to a technicality, you're not going to be on their line. Perhaps you would like to, did you explore Senator Colucci's voting record at all?
I have put together a team. I'm very serious about this. This is not a race I take lightly at all. I've put together a team of people that are looking into the issues. We're going to do our due diligence on everything that is going on here in Rockland. We're going to look at his voting record. And one thing that disturbs me about Rockland County is that, you know, Senator Carlucci, to me, has some solutions that are Band-Aids. You know, wants an $80 million bond, for example, and is that going to hold Rockland through? Is that the solution? I don't believe it is. So I'm going to do my due diligence to get to know Rockland, know what the people want in Rockland. I'm sure he's very popular, but I think as people get to know me, I'll be just as popular here in Rockland.
Okay. Talk a little bit about your campaign team. Janis, I know recently we submitted to the New York State Board of Elections well over 2,000 signatures for you to get on the ballot. And now that you're going to be officially the designee of the Republican Party, you're going to be setting up campaign offices both here and Ossining?
Yes, absolutely.
And you're going to be staffing here as well?
Exactly,
right.
Yes.
Okay.
I have put some of my own dollars into finding a group of people that I think are really dynamite, and did this before I even knew I had the signatures. I take this seriously. I'm willing to put my own dollars into it and not have people who can't really afford even to give me $1 have to work at this. Those who can, I'm very grateful for. Just to sidetrack, I went up to Albany yesterday with those over 2,000 signatures, and I couldn't have been prouder. And I certainly want to thank everybody that walked with petitions for me. You know, I was up at your office while they were being counted. I actually was getting tears in my eyes because I just thought it was unbelievable. And I'm loyal to those people, and I'm very thankful for the hard work that they did both in Rockland and Ossining. It was just a thrill for me to go to Albany and retract my steps as a young person. And I have to tell you, I'm at home now. I feel at home.
That's great. Yes, as I said, and that's probably the most difficult job that committee members have, carrying petitions in these hot summer days. And we've had some heat waves here these past few weeks. Thank God that petition period is over with. And now we'll be concentrating on the general election. And fortunately, you're not facing a primary, so you can go directly to, you know, the general election period. The name of the firm that's helping you, talk about that a little bit?
The Red Pillar. They helped Nan Hayworth win their campaign, her first campaign. They are a group of 4 people who then have staff and other members working under them. I believe that John Hicks was once county chairman.
In Orange County.
In Orange County. And they've put together a group of people that really know what they're doing and advise me every step of the way. I then have people who have volunteered to help me with the campaign on all levels, both from Rockland and Ossining. So I'm building a small army.
Yeah, I know you have some campaign coordinators here from Rockland, Maureen Dewar from the town of Orangetown, and we have Irene Torchio from the town of Ramapo. And there's other people signing on as we speak. Tonight, volunteers are coming forward to work for you in the town of Clarkstown. You realize this is going to be an uphill fight. You've got to get to be known here in Rockland. People know you well in Ossining, so I assume you're going to be spending a lot more time here.
Absolutely. You know, I want to make this comment. When I first came into Ossining and chose that to be my home, I wanted to get involved in the community. I didn't really think I had a prayer of becoming a trustee. Nobody knew me in Ossining, and I went before people and committees, and all of a sudden I got the nod to become a trustee, and then grew to deputy mayor. I understand that Rockland doesn't know me and that there's an uphill battle going on here, but I'm used to those uphill battles. I won in Ossining by the largest margin, had the most votes. I am going to get to know the people of Rockland County. I will be here constantly. I have taken a leave of absence from my own business in order to accomplish that. And
so you're going to be a full-time candidate?
I'm a full-time candidate.
That's good news. Yeah, that's what it's going to take. Okay, and we stand by ready to help you, as the local Conservative Party is committed to you as well, to support you in your endeavors. Maybe you'd like to talk a little bit about your website and tell the folks if they'd like to find out more about Janis Castaldi, how they could look you up.
Okay. My website is www.janiscastaldi.com, and it's JANISCASTALD as in David I.com. I also would love for anybody to visit my Facebook page, which changes daily. Leave comments, questions. You could also do that on my website. Please like my Facebook page. If you want to volunteer, there's a place on my website in order to do that, as well as contributions. And certainly any issues that you want to bring up, you're able to contact me there. And there's also a number in which you can reach me as well. So, you know, I'm ready to call you back. In fact, I've already gotten some comments, some from senior citizens, some from people in Rockland that want to get to know me, and many meetings are being held. I plan to have a lot of different events here in Rockland, and some that will be different because I tend to think out of the box and do something that's fun and exciting for the people of Rockland. I will be at the Nyack Street Fair this Sunday. You can catch me there. And I'll be at most events here in Rockland.
And that you're going to have to do all those necessary things, and you know, kissing the babies and shaking the hands and patting them on the back. It's a big county, Rockland. It's a lot of territory for you to carry, and we wish you the best of luck in your endeavors in that. And as I said, we stand ready to support you in all this. What are some of your plans as far as your campaign is concerned? Are you going to have lawn signs? Are you going to have?
Yeah, we're going to do it all.
Mailings and things of that nature?
Mailings, lawn signs. As I said, I don't want to give all of it away right now, but we've got some exciting plans for being out on the streets in Rockland. And we intend to do, as I said, some very fun and exciting things. All the regular things will be done, and some, as I said, fun things will be done as well. But this is a full-blown campaign that we are all very dedicated to, and I believe I'm your next senator, and I hope people start to believe that as well.
Well, we're certainly going to hope for that, and we're going to strive for that. Well, Janis, we got about, believe it or not, the half hour's almost up. We got about 5 minutes left. Perhaps you might want to address the camera yourself and tell them why you think that they should be voting for Janis Castaldi this coming fall.
Camera, I'm not very used to it. All right. Well, I think I've said it all in this interview with Vinny, but the one thing that strikes me is that Senator Carlucci has said he was going to change Albany, and it looks like Albany has changed him. I am progressive. I am someone who has good business sense. I've worked my whole life. I've had a career and ups and downs my whole life. I've worked as a village trustee and deputy mayor to reduce taxes, to inspire jobs. I just think professionally, personally, I am the better candidate, and politically I think I have proven that I am a fiscal conservative, and I'm going to do what it takes to shave tax dollars from the bottom of your taxes.
Well, that's very good. And just want to add that to you. You do have the experience where Senator Carlucci, I don't believe, has ever worked outside of government. He's always had a government job. He doesn't know what it is to be in the private sector, where you, not only as an employer, but as an employee, you can bring that too with you when you go to Albany, and you have a certain business sense, how to run a business. You know what it is to meet a payroll. You know what it is to pay taxes on a home and raise your family. So I think you got a lot going for you, and there's a clear difference between you and the incumbent senator. So once again, Janis, I'm very glad that you joined us on the show, and we'd like to have you back again.
Great.
And I'd also like to remind our viewing audience that the Rockland County Public Committee is located at 172 South Main Street in New City. If you have a problem and we can be of service to you, we are there 5 days a week from 10 a.m. to 3, and on Saturdays from 9 a.m. until noon. If you have a problem and you think we might be able to help you, please come by. There's always an elected official, and of course the coffee pot is always on. Once again, on behalf of the Rockland County Republican Committee, thank you for joining us this Tuesday evening, and we'll see you next week. Janis Castaldi, all the best of luck to you.
Thank you very much.
And welcome back.
Thank you.
Thank you, and good night.